Welcome back, folks. This is Tommy, Help with Gadgets, and we've got a really cool knife to do a disassembly and cleaning of today. This is the Luther Warnaught, and really appreciate Karco allowing me to take a look at this knife. It's one that was made by Eric Luther, and this is March of 2015, and tragically we lost Eric back in, I believe it was October of 24. So, as I understand it, this was one of the last Warnaughts that was made by him. And again, Karco's graciously allowed me to take a look at this knife, actually carry it, and disassemble it. So let's go ahead and get into that. This one makes me a little bit nervous because it is a really cool knife. So make sure that I'm taking it apart in the best possible manner. It is a T15 on the pivot screw, and then I think we've got to switch to T10s here on the clip screw. And I've not had this one apart, so this is the first time, and this is just me trying to figure out what's the best way. I may get to a point where I say, I may need to look at this a little bit different, and do so. These are ironwood inlays, which is really cool. So I was incorrect in the way that needed to come off. So let's go to these here on the back. Feels like T10s as well. Carefully take those loose. And those are going through all the way into that other slab of titanium, of course. And I'm going to try to keep those in order in case there is something I need to, just in case they're different lengths. And y'all don't laugh at me with being quiet here, because I'm concentrating on not getting cut, and now the knife is disassembled itself pretty much. Alright, let's roll that over. Let's pull these off. Okay. It's always cool to get a chance to take a knife apart and really look at it. Let's set that to the side. This is the huge back spacer. And then you can see the slabs of titanium here that are really not that heavy. And then there's Eric Luther's maker's mark there in the relief. Alright, let's pull this out. And this as well. And I don't know where that came from. Let's see. That looks like it may have been one of these. Maybe it was inside. No. Don't know. Gonna have to figure that out. And in fact, may have to ask Karco about that. Let's go ahead and clean this off. And freshen it up a little bit. These should actually come off now, I believe. Do I want to try to remove these? You know what? I think we're going to leave well enough alone unless it decides it's going to come loose. I don't think I'm going to try that. Let's just wipe down all the edges. And let's wipe this grease out of there, or whatever it might be. And I'll get some cotton tip applicators here in just a few minutes. Let's actually get a new alcohol swab. And since we're getting a brand new fresh one, let's go ahead and wipe that blade down. Look how thick that titanium is. Just, I mean, not titanium. That steel is. Actually, that is, what did I say this was? I thought I took a note, and I don't see it. Oh, it's a CPM 154. I did do a note. Just forgot where it was. All right. All right, let's check this and make sure that's clean. Okay. And make sure that's clean. Let's check that lock face. It needed some cleaning there. And I also wanted to kind of check this here. This was appears to be some kind of grease there, but I think I'm getting it out. And if I'm not mistaken, I also saw some on the side of, aha, there's the other. These have little bitty washers, and one of them goes right there. All right, there's some gunk right here. Let's see if we can get that off. And that, oops, another one of the little washers dropped off. So gonna get a fresh one here and clean that off a bit more. See, Karco uses his knives, which is really cool. Oops, got another one there. I'm gonna try not to lose any of those. Might as well go ahead and take that one off, I guess. All right, get that clean. And a little bit of junk right there. Get that all nice and shiny. All right. Did I wipe this side down? I think I did. It doesn't hurt to wipe it down again. All right, so all kinds of junk cleaned off of it. Let's go ahead and get the bearings out and clean those off. And let those be drying here to the side. Same thing for this other one. Get that one and let it dry. Get the pivot screw. I need to get that T15 right here. And just kind of squeeze put my fingernail down in those threads on the pivot screw and see if I can't get some of this. See if I can't get some of that junk out. So yeah, get it all nice and hopefully a little bit cleaner than it was. Let's see. There's some debris there. I want to try to get that loose. And I was able to. Let me grab another alcohol swab. And the T15 again. So just thinking with all those little washers, this is going to be kind of fun to get back together. But shouldn't be too awful bad. I just need to think about it and make sure that I'm doing it correctly. This, of course, is going to go in here. And coming from this side, this will be the way that I screw those in. I don't want to mess with that. Alright, let me just go ahead and get that pivot. Let's get that stop pin out. And I need to figure out that stop pin location. Just get that cleaned off. And the pivot itself. May have to adjust that out a little bit. Okay. Alright, so technically speaking, let me think about this for a second. So this is going to, well, let's grab another cotton tip applicator and clean that out. Okay, clean that out. Let's go ahead and slide that in. I think it's got to be there. I think. And okay, so let's do it this way. Let's go ahead and slide these up here. Let me make sure. Okay. So it would be the same. I tried to drop this. No, I didn't try to drop it. I did drop it. Okay, let's slide that through. Same for this one here. Let's put a washer on each one of those. Maybe easier to pick up with that. Okay, and let's figure this out. think it's got to be this right here. Though I'm not certain about that. Pretty sure this is a lanyard type of hole, so let's go ahead and put it that way. If I find out that it's not correct, then I can of course come back later and fix that. Alright, so let's go ahead and put the bearing on. I'm going to use a little bit of gunny glide, a little bit on each side of the pivot there. And I am going to get another, let's get another one, and make sure that this hole where the pivot goes is cleaned out. And also right here, a little divot there, and a little divot there, oops, a little divot there, and there are all cleaned out. Okay. As I mentioned before, this one's got me a little bit, not nervous, but I want to be very careful with this one. Not that I'm not careful with other ones, but this one's something else. Alright. Let's go ahead and put those little washers on this side. And I should have another one somewhere. There it is. Okay. Go ahead and slide this back on here. All right. So theoretically, I do want to put a drop of gunny glide there. And so when I do this, let's get this and get that T15. That's not it. Here it is over here. I'm going to get some, a little bit of Loctite on there. So I'm going to put that pivot in, and then I'm going to flip that over and get those body screws in. Alright, not quite sitting down on there yet. And I may have to adjust that pivot a little bit, because this is fairly thick and there's not a whole lot sticking out. I did screw that pivot in just a bit as I thought it may need, and I was wrong. So let me screw that back out. Okay. Hindsight, I probably shouldn't have messed with that, but I think we can get it. Back to where we need to get. Alright, let's get, oops, get that in place. Okay, and then I want to carefully that over. This is not the easiest knife to disassemble for sure. And I'm trying to do this very gently. There we go. Let's see, 10s. And that should line up there as well. Feels like we got it. Don't want to over tighten because of that inlays. And then I want to check everything very carefully before I actuate this. Let's check. I'm just going to use this, actually, got to get the right bit, this T10 here without even being in a bit holder to tighten that up. All right. All right. That was a little nerve-wracking, but I think it turned out all right. See, there you have it. This is the Luther Warnaught. And I'm going to actually do a review of this one as well here in the next couple of days. Not sure exactly what order it'll be released in, but if you've enjoyed this disassembly and cleaning of this behemoth, please hit that like button down there. Subscribe if you haven't done so. Leave me a comment. Hope to see y'all again soon, and hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks for watching.